Hello students, this is Kanupriya, PhD Geography, and here I am once again with my next video on chapter Solar Radiation, Heat Balance and Temperature. Initially in my previous video, we had discussed about insolation and the various factors which affects insolation, in which we had discussed about angle of inclination of the sun rays, rotation on its own axis, length of the day, transparency of the atmosphere, and configuration of land in its various aspects. So these were the various factors that affects insolation that we had discussed in my previous video. After that, we had discussed about the passage of solar radiation through the atmosphere and spatial distribution of insolation that we receive on the surface of the earth. So these were the things that we had discussed in the previous video. Now we'll start with the next topics of this particular chapter. So let's start with this chapter now. Heating and cooling of atmosphere. How the atmosphere of the earth is heated and cooled down. What are the various processes which helps in the heating and cooling of the atmosphere? So here we have three processes because of which the atmosphere of the earth is heated up and cooled down. So let's discuss them one by one. There are different ways of heating and cooling of the atmosphere. The earth, after being heated up by insolation, transmits the heat to the atmospheric layers near to the surface of the earth in long wave form. The air in contact with the land gets heated slowly, and the upper layers in contact with the lower layers also gets heated up. This process is called conduction. So conduction is one of the process because of which the atmosphere of the earth is heated up and cooled down. In this, the lower layers of the atmosphere coming in contact with the surface of the earth will be heated up, and because of that the heat will be transferred to the upper layers of the atmosphere, and because of which they will also get heated up. So this process is called as conduction. Conduction takes place when there are two bodies having unequal temperature and they are in contact with one another. Then there will be a flow of energy from the warmer to the colder body. The transfer of heat continues until both the bodies attain the same temperature or the contact is broken. Conduction is important in heating the lower layers of the atmosphere. So basically conduction is such a process in which the lower layers of the atmosphere gets heat from the surface of the earth, and this heat will be transferred to the upper layers of the atmosphere. And this process will continue once the contact is broken, until the contact is broken. And this takes place when two bodies are having unequal temperature, and because of which the heat will be transferred from the warmer end to the colder end. So this is all about conduction. This is a process which is called as conduction, which is responsible for the heating and cooling of atmosphere. So this is one of the process leading to the heating of the atmosphere. The air in contact with the earth rises vertically on heating in the form of currents and further transmits the heat of the atmosphere. The process of vertical heating of the atmosphere is known as convection. The convective transfer of energy is confined only to the troposphere. The transfer of heat through horizontal movement of air is called as advection. So here we have two terms. One is convection and second one is advection. These are the other two processes which are active leading to the heating and cooling of the atmosphere. In convection, air which comes in contact with the earth, it rises vertically when it is heated up, and it goes in the form of currents, and it transmits the heat of the atmosphere. So the vertical heating of the atmosphere is called as convection. But the horizontal movement of air, the transfer of heat through horizontal movement of air is called as advection. Horizontal movement of the air is relatively more important than the vertical movement. In middle latitudes, most of diurnal, that is day and night, variation in daily weather are caused by advection alone. In tropical regions, particularly in northern India, during summer season, local winds called Lu is the outcome of advection process. So these are the various processes, these are the three processes, that is conduction, convection and advection, and because of these processes the atmosphere is getting heated up and cooled down. It is because of these processes that heat is transmitted to the atmosphere. Heat is transferred from the warmer end to the colder end in different forms. So this is all about heating and cooling of the atmosphere. Now comes the next topic, that is temperature. The interaction of insolation with the atmosphere and the earth's surface creates heat, which is measured in terms of temperature. While heat represents the molecular movement of particles comprising a substance, the temperature is the measurement in degrees of how hot or cold a thing or a place is. So basically temperature is related to insolation. Higher the insolation, higher will be the temperature or higher will be the heat. So basically the interaction of insolation with the atmosphere and the earth's surface, which generates heat and which is measured in terms of temperature. So temperature is a measurement of heat which is generated because of the insolation which is received by the earth's surface. Heat basically represents the molecular movement of the particles which comprises a substance, and temperature measures the degree of hotness or coldness a place is or a thing is. So this is temperature. We have number of factors which control the temperature distribution. We have the latitude of the place, altitude of the place, distance from the sea, the air masses circulation, the presence of warm and cold ocean currents, and the various local aspects. So these are the various factors which control the temperature distribution. So let's discuss them one by one. First one is the latitude. The temperature of a place depends on the insolation received. It has been explained earlier that the insolation varies according to the latitude and hence the temperature also varies accordingly. So latitude plays a very important role for the distribution of temperature. The temperature of a place depends upon the latitude. Lower the latitude, that means the equator, the tropical regions will receive maximum insolation. But as we move from the equator towards the poles, the insolation received will be less. It will decrease from the equator towards the poles. It is because of the fact, as we had discussed earlier, that the angle of inclination of the sun rays plays a very important role. The sun rays are total vertical over the tropical and equatorial region, but it gets slant while going towards the poles. So because of that, the insolation received at the poles will be minimum, and the insolation received at the tropical and equatorial regions, the insolation received will be maximum. So latitude plays a very important role while the distribution of temperature is concerned. Second one is altitude. The atmosphere is indirectly heated by terrestrial radiation from below. Therefore, the places near the sea level record higher temperature and the places situated at higher elevation. In other words, the temperature generally decreases with increasing height. The rate of decrease of temperature with height is termed as normal lapse rate. That you have to remember. And now what is normal lapse rate? It is a decrease in temperature at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius per 1000 meters of elevation or height. So basically altitude plays a very important role. As the height increases, the insolation received will be less. The temperature will be less. There will be decrease in temperature as the height will be increased. So that it is the normal lapse rate, that is 6.5 degrees Celsius decrease in temperature with 1000 meters of height. So altitude plays a very important role. As the height of the place increases, the temperature will decrease. Third one is distance from the sea. Another factor that influences the temperature is the location of place with respect to the sea. Compared to land, the sea gets heated slowly and loses heat slowly. Land heats up and cools down quickly. Therefore, the variation in temperature over the sea is less compared to land. The places situated near the sea come under the moderating influence of the sea and land breezes, which moderate the temperature. So basically distance from the sea also determines the temperature distribution, as there is a quality of water that it heats up slowly and it also cools down slowly, and because of which there are variation in terms of temperature. It is because of the influence of sea that we will experience moderate type of climate near the sea, and it is because of the land breezes and influence of the sea. And the last one is air masses and ocean currents. Like the land and sea breezes, the passage of air masses also affects the temperature. The places which come under the influence of warm air masses experience high temperature, and the places that come under the influence of cold air masses experience low temperature. Similarly, the places located on the coast where the warm ocean currents flow record higher temperature than the places located on the coast where the cold currents flow. So basically air masses are the large body of air with different characteristics, and ocean currents are the currents which are produced in the water. So basically cold air masses when it passes through a particular place, it will lower down the temperature of that particular place, and if there is warm air mass, then the temperature of that place will be increased. Same is with the case of ocean currents. So if we have warm ocean currents, the temperature of that place will be increased, and if we have cold ocean currents, the temperature will be decreased. So this is all for today. If you have any doubt, please come up with your doubts. Thank you so much.